Hey guys, GK here with Corbin's Archery. Today I'm just going to break down on how to sight in your PRÜF sight by dialed archery. No need to be intimidated. It might sound a little complex, but it's really not bad. It's very, very simple. You just got to understand what you're looking for. In your dialed cylinder or box here, it's cool packaging that they come with. You're going to get the sight, obviously. Then you're going to get this little cardboard square here that's in the bottom. Do not throw this away. This has your sight tapes. It has your indicator card, the whole deal. So once you get your sight mounted, get it mounted on the bow, get your axes all level, you're ready to start shooting. Key thing, make sure you are zeroed all the way to the top here. We want to start at the top where that says test on the calibration or the test sight tape there. Want to start with that indicator all the way up at the top, and then we're going to lock that down. Right now we are not going to revert to the dial. We are going to use our elevation adjustment, which is these two screws here and here. We're going to use that and slide it up and down while shooting in our top pin there, the top green pin. We're going to shoot that at 20 yards. We're going to only focus on the top pin. Forget this sight can even dial, forget any of that. All we're going to do is shoot that top pin at 20. Now to adjust that, again, these two screws will loosen them. Slide it up or down. If you're hitting high, slide it up. If you're hitting low, slide it down. You know, chase that arrow. What's cool and improved about this sight that I like, previously your second axis could get thrown off. There's no worry of that here. Your axis is locked down. So don't be afraid to now adjust that elevation dial up and down. So now let's say I have my 20 perfect here. We're good to go. Then what you want to do is step back to a range that you're comfortable shooting. The further back you can go and shoot consistently and comfortably, the better and more accurate your sight tape is going to be. So for example, I would start shooting probably 60, 70, maybe even 80 if I could find a calm day out here to launch some bombs and really dial in this group. So with using that top pin, let's ignore all the other pins. We're using that top pin. I'm going to rover or dial my sight out there to about, let's say I'll shoot at 70 yards. Let's just kind of go right there. 70 yards, I'm stacking them, I'm feeling good. I'll take a look and see where that top indicator is pointing. For example, this one is pointing at, might be hard to get there, 36. 36 is what that one is pointing at. So here's what I would do. I would then take my tapes that come with the sight. Open it up here. You're going to get the sight tape selection card. Do not throw this away. Do not lose this. This is not a, coupon card or whatever. Keep that because you're going to need it. Then you also have your many pages of tapes. Let's take a look at those tapes though. That is awesome. I love a color coordinated tape. I hate when they're just like all black and they all kind of mix together. I like some color on there. I typically, on an all black tape, I'll take a highlighter and highlight different colored stuff. But you're going to get a bunch of tapes. You're going to get another test tape, a 20 blank tape, and then a bunch of other blank tapes there. So keep all those tapes. Now what I'm going to do with this card, this is after I've sight in, this is after I've shot, a couple days in a row just to fine tune that, point of, okay, I'm shooting good today at 70, my arrows are stacking, my elevation's perfect. I'm comfortable that when I'm shooting at 70 with my setup, my arrow or my top indicator, my top pin are hitting at number 36 there on the dial. So here's what I would do. Take your note card and take a pen, highlighter, whatever. I got a Sharpie, for example. And I'm going to make 2 lines here on this PRÜF sight selection tape. So there's one there, and then I'm going to make another one at 36. I'm just using this as a straight edge because I'm kind of OCD. I like straight edge. Okay, so now you can see my top green is at 0 or at the top of the test tape, and then my next line is at number 36 because that's where I was shooting comfortably at 70 yards. Now I'm going to cycle through these tapes here and just kind of find one that's pretty close. And I'm going to lay my tape selection down next to these tapes until I find the one that it matches up the closest to, and it looks spot on with my straight edge lines here. It's another reason why to use a straight edge. You can really see this clearly. That one there looks the closest. I think it's pretty spot on. So it looks like it's going to be sight tape 20. Yep, sight tape 20 is going to be perfect with my marks. And now you guys, tape number 20, but I'm not going to put it on the ring yet, and here's why. On the back of your sight tape selection card, turn it over, you have a pin scale that Dialed has given you guys here with the sight. What I like to do is, since this is the Mag 3V, the 3-pin vertical, I cannot move that middle pin or that bottom pin. So whatever my gap is what my gap is, but this scale helps you figure out where your second pin should be and your third pin should be, so you can go ahead and move your indicators. Just takes a lot of the guesswork out. So I'm going to lay my 20 at the top of this 3V scale and see kind of where I'm at. So y'all can see there, I have my tape on it. So let's kind of take a look here and see. Top pin's at 20, we know that. My middle pin is going to be at 33. And then my bottom pin looks like it's going to be right about 42. So almost 10-yard increments based on this sight tape selection scenario. Again, your guys' tape might be totally different. It's all depending on draw weight, draw length, arrow, the whole 9 yards. But this is at me shooting comfortably at 20 and 60, finding the correct tape, and then laying it down on the pin scale. So now, 20, 32, 33, and then 42. So this is just a good rough estimate of where you want to start at. Now I have my ring off of my sight. Took that off just a minute ago. I'm going to lay this tape down. You don't have to be perfect, guys. Again, this ring can move. You can get it set up where it needs to be. This is why I lock down at my 0 position all the way up at the top. So laying 20 right where I started the 0, that test tape, right there. And then I'm just going to lay this tape down on this dial. Love the colored tapes. Thank you, Dialed, for that. That's huge. Okay. Got my tape on my wheel there. Let's throw this guy on. And I'm going to try to put that 20 right on that top indicator. Again, you don't have to be perfect, guys. I can slide this dial if I need to get it exactly lined up with 20. So right there looks good. I'll take my 3/32 Allen wrench and I'm going to tighten it down. Pull it in there snug, don't over tighten, nice and snug. Get my tape on there good. And make sure you don't do what I just did. I kind of tightened it a little bit and it moved my tape slightly. Moved my dial. So just kind of hold that in place. There we go. Okay, my tape's on. I'm pointing out my 20 indicator. But now my middle indicator and my bottom indicator are way off. My second pin's supposed to be at 33. My bottom pin's supposed to be at 42. So now what we need to do, this little itty bitty screw right here, let's see if I can get that in the light here. It's the one right under the first axis screw. It kind of goes right around that dial, that black Allen wrench there. I'm going to break that open just a little. See if we can get that right in there. I'm just going to loosen it a little bit. And now I can physically move these indicators where they need to go. So now I'm going to move them to where that second pin is at 33. Perfect. And the next one's at 42. Good there. Tighten it back up. Now my sight, my 3V sight is selected. My indicators are good. Now let's just go double check everything. First thing I'll do, I'd reshoot it at 20 just to make sure my 0 and everything is perfect. If so, don't touch your sight, don't dial. Step back to 33 yards, which is what my second indicator is, and shoot that middle pin, which is your second indicator, your second pin. Shoot it at 33 religiously. If it's, a little bit off, you can move your indicator to 32 or to 34. That scale just saves you a bunch of time doing the guesswork. Do the same thing for your bottom pin. I'd start at 42, which is what my bottom pin, according to the scale, should be. And I dial that in, get it going. Other than that, this sight's ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to go. You can also, on the back side of this, you're going to notice that on these PRÜF sights, however, they come with a second wheel or a second tape. If you have different arrows or, one's a 100 grain tip versus a 125, you can have a whole nother sight tape that you can put on this dial and you can quickly remove it, throw it on this one, whatever. You have some options to customize this. If it was me personally on this sight, if you wanted to make it a tack setup or a super long range sight, I'm going to leave this alone. I love a 3-pin vertical look. Y'all know that's my favorite picture. What I'm going to do is I might make a small fine tip Sharpie mark at the bottom of that housing. Kind of see where that pin base kind of starts to go up. I might make a small silver Sharpie mark, and that could be my bonus extra long range pin. But on the inside here, I only have 3 reticles. On the outside, or 3 indicators, excuse me. On the outside, I have another single indicator. Who's to say I won't make that one my super long range tack setup sight tape? Now, I'm always a fan of having 2 pages of sight tapes. You only come with 1. So if you're going to want to do this, get another page of sight tapes. That way you have extras. That way, if you run through it, different setups, if you tinker as much as I do, you're going to go through a bunch of different tapes. But with that second page sight tape, I'm going to lay the same tape on this side and then just figure out what that dot is and move that indicator onto that tape. And there you go. I have a bonus tack pin setup. You can use this extra tape as anything you want. It's kind of a 2-in-1 dial system, basically. So if you want to change your tape to a different arrow or a different hunt or whatever, I can take that ring off, put that tape on, I'm good to go. Or, there's another option. I can run this indicator as just my top pin only and have just like a single pin setup on the back side. It's totally up to you. There are options, but this is how to sight in the PRÜF 3V from Dialed. Clean looking sight, you guys, and I can't get over how light it is. That is how you select a sight tape. That's how you remove or adjust your indicators to get it lined up. Shoot in your tape over multiple days, guys. We all shoot differently. Some days you're spot on, and the next you're slacking a little bit. Could be changing of anchor points or whatever. Dial in your tape, get a bunch of good weather days with very, very minimal wind if you can help it, and dial it in and get it going. But super clean. I love the sight tapes. I love the adjustability that you could use. You can also dim the pins as mentioned earlier in the other video, and I could pop this off and add a light if need be. So, super clean sight. That's how you sight in the Dialed PRÜF 3V. If you guys need anything else, just holler at us. Thanks.